Hey, welcome back to my bait cave. Hope everybody's doing well out there. The plan I had for today was to do a triple laminate color called Bayou Min'na. It's a color I did a couple years ago, and it came out good. I liked it, and I didn't have a name for it, so I did a short video for my social media, and just asked everybody what a good name was. Give me a name, and whoever had the best name that I would just send those baits off to, and the person that won named it Bayou Min'na. Today I'm gonna change it up again a little bit to say a Bayou Min'na 2.0, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the original Bayou Min'na was the top of the fish was 3 drops of 103 black with 015 purple hex. And that's going to stay the same today, but this is where it changes. It used to be 25 drops of 146 brown, but today for the 2.0 version, it's going to be 30 drops of 101 watermelon with a 1/4 teaspoon of 015 gold. And then for the bottom, it's still going to be 20 drops of liquid pearl. I said this liquid pearl. This is the liquid pearl I like for laminates because I can get it all the right temperature. What I used to use was a pearl powder. I still use it for things like an open pour. What I've been finding when I do an ejected type lure, the liquid seems to work better. I want to give you all a little rundown on the equipment I'm going to use today. What I'm going to use is this triple injector. So for that injector, it requires this blending block. See, it's going to bring all the plastic to the middle. And I guess the reason for the zigzag instead of coming straight in, I think that makes it all inject. Like a set of headers on a car, that actually gives it the same amount of travel before it goes out the nozzle. So I already got the hot plate heating up to about 175. It's important, the blending block is very important to be heated to the right temperature. And then I like to get the nozzles hot also. And that ensures a smooth flow. Also today, I'm gonna open up a brand new jug of 242. The other materials I'm gonna use today is black 103 from Lure Works. Also from Lure Works, watermelon 101, 015 purple flake, 015 dark gold. The first mold I want to use is this 5.6 Epic Prey bait, also in collaboration with Marling Baits. This is a really good mold. You can choose to use the hook slot, or you can actually delete the hook slot and just trim this belly off. I prefer the hook slots the way I rig my swim baits. This one is also a collaboration with Marling. It's the 4.1 Epic Prey bait with also the same thing with the hook slots. They can be deleted if you choose to, but I'm a hook slot kind of guy, so there we have it. Both of these are going to have an upper hook slot also. The last mold I want to use today is this 5.4 Epic Whip Wad, which is actually another collaboration with Marling. These do not have the upper hook slot like the prey baits, but they have a great option for deleting the hook slot altogether. Also, one thing I wanted to show you guys on these Epic molds, they let you know what's the back and the belly. It's already there. You don't have to guess. So when you're putting them together in your vise, there's no doubt about it. One thing I always do when I try to get these as level as I can in the vise, so I use a lot of different shims. I always keep some shim material here on the workbench that I can get these to sit up here perfectly. They're not perfectly level, but they're good enough you got to remember on this when it's front to back, the blending block's going to be running this way, coming down. So the blending block will sit like this, and it'll give it a lot of. Well, here I'll show you. So the blending block's going to be running from the front to the back like this. So they don't have to be perfectly level because that sits in there really well. However, if this was going to be something that we were going to blend this way, I would have to get these level or just have to use different, probably a different shim, because that would never work. So going front to back, no problem. See how that's separated? All the resin sitting on the bottom, that's all on the top. So being a brand new jug, it's gonna, while I'm mixing it, I like to get the mixer all down in the corners really well and up the sides. So they put a big sticker on here saying mix before each use, but don't shake. So I guess shaking introduces air, but after I mix it with that mixer, I do kind of give it a little upside down, make sure all that resin gets in there. So I got 3 cups of plastic. On this particular microwave, I can just actually go straight with 3 cups. I can just hit it, let it run for 6 minutes. All right, yeah. So they're starting to turn. Chemical reaction starting to take place, but it's not there yet. Remember, this plastic, it has to reach 350 degrees before it turns. What I mean by that is where it reaches that chemical reaction where it becomes plastic. So I think from here I can go for another 2 minutes. All right, that's 2 minutes. See where we're at. Starting to look good. Temperature wise, that's 350, perfect. I always take the temperature after you stir a little bit. Not quite there yet. That's about 340. And see, that's pretty thick because it hadn't finished. This one's a little hotter. It all depends on how it sits on that plate in there. Still not hot enough. All of this can stand to go another minute and a half. That's all on this microwave right here. If you got one of the big monster microwaves or something a lot more powerful than this, don't go by my minutes, because yours may just burn it up. So I've got them all in the vacuum chamber, getting all the air and non-condensables out of it. So that's going to look good. I can already tell. All I was going for was a light charcoal. See, I think that's going to work perfect. So the second color, which would normally be we call it the lateral line, but in injection, it's not going to be a straight line. I might have got 31 right there. Perfect. Also, just on a side note, this white pearl is supposed to be a non-bleed, so I try to use all non-bleed colors. I think that's going to be good. For the top color, I want to put a 1/4 teaspoon of 015 purple. This is what kind of makes the top color, and I always that better. So I always heap it a little bit because I really like the way this looks in there. Watch, this just changes everything. Look at it now. That makes a big change. And then on the middle color, I'm going to use this gold. I'm not going to heap this teaspoon quite as high, or I'm not going to heap this quite as high. I think that's going to look good. Alright, so they all need another turn in the microwave. Alright, so we got all three colors ready to go. Blending block is nice and heated up. But I wanted pearl's going to be in the bottom, the dark's going to be on the top. So I'm going to fill the injectors and I'm going to turn it and get it on top. All right, here we go. in case anyone's curious about how the blending block works, I thought I'd add it to this video and show you how. But you see how the colors come down, and I was talking about this one has to be zigzag so that it's the same length. And I think that all has to do with a proper injection, you know, so that it all travels the same distance before it gets to the nozzle. That keeps each of the injector tubes the same amount as the plungers are coming down. If one just went straight in, I'm not sure if you would get the right pressure on each one of these, because this one would want to fill faster than these two because of the distance of travel. If that makes any sense. Alright, well, these things have cooled down. This just makes it a little bit easier when it's time to open them up. Alright, let's look at 5.6 Epic Prey Bait. See how they're going to come out. Alright. Here we go. Bayou Min'na 2.0. Well, see how, unlike an open pore mold, you can't get none of this perfect. The line's not going to be perfect. As the width of the bait changes, so is the turbulence that's caused inside there, and it's going to make it swirl a little bit. It's going to make it swirl a little bit in the tail section or any narrow spots, but still, that looks pretty good. And this is what I was talking about. You got the upper hook slot on these. Let's take a look at another one. See a little bit more blended in the tail, but you can kind of still see the white coming down and some of the purple. A lot of purple made it to the back, but the center color is what really came all the way through, and some of that could be due to the white. The white will come down and swirl around here, and it may have hit this piece of metal right here, and maybe just swirled up a little bit, allowing some of that green to come down in there. But you know, I hear people say all the time, there's nothing perfect in nature. These 4.1s are the ones I use the most. For the lakes I fish in, this is a good size for them. So they kind of held their colors in the bodies. They start blending. Everything blends together in the tails, but that's to be expected. These also have the upper hook slot. Maybe a little bit of the purple might have made it to the tail, but not very much. Not really to speak of. I think it's gonna look good with red eyes. These 5.4-inch whip wads look like. So, see that? That's from injecting a little bit too hot. It causes it to suck in. But being that these are for me, that's going to be just fine. I wouldn't give that to nobody like that, but for my own personal use, that's not even going to make a difference. You can see some of the purple got further down into the tail. It looks like even some of the white came around. That's pretty cool, huh? Even on this one, I can see some of the purple came all the way back into here. I don't know if the camera can see that. But anyway, this one's got a hook slot, but it does not have an upper hook slot. A lot of times what I'll do with these is I'll put eyes on them and use them as a swim bait. This tail has got a really good kick to it. Or a lot of times I'll use this as a trailer. I won't use an eye, and I'll put that on as a trailer. There's a lot of uses for the whip wad, and really what it amounts to is, I guess this is the whip, and then it's got like 3 wads or 4 wads on each side. Hence the name. Really good action. What I really need is a test tank so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. I wonder what kind of cool color these things would make. You know I'm going to reuse them for something. Alright, so now I got a little run of them done. Next step's put the eyes in. And lately I've been really impressed with red. I don't know, I'm kind of obsessed with it, I guess. But I've been having a lot of really good action with red eyes. So every one of these takes a 6mm eye. So I find they hold it best with this little drop of super glue. I mean, you could use the tweezers too, but I find this after a while. This is an old X-Acto blade. Kind of just does the trick. I think that's going to look cool. Let's do one of these 4-inch ones. Now this is where a tweezer would come in handy. See, I didn't get it centered. There we go. Before that super glue sets up. This one's cut. The bass in my area really seem to attack that red. The whip wad don't really have an eye socket, but it's got a little cutout, a little dent. And that's because, like I was saying before, you don't always need eyes on the whip wad. You know, like I was telling you, you can mold this without the hook slot. So you could actually put a big jig head on the front of this with the hook coming out up here. I'm gonna put eyes on all of mine because I'm gonna use these with an owner beast hook. And maybe even some of them with an underspin. So I went ahead and put all the rest of the eyes in while the camera was off to save some boredom. But I want to show you something. Let's see what you want to see. This is what I was talking about. I don't know. I got several. This one's not too bad. I had one that was really a good. I don't know where it is now. Oh, here we go. That one's a pretty good dent. So I've made a few thousand of these whip wads, and I've never had this happen before on this mold. It could have been temperature of the plastic, or maybe I didn't hold enough pressure. This mold makes 3 at a time, and all of the dents came out of the center, I believe. So it really don't make any sense. But anyway, since these are strictly for me, I'm gonna use it like this. But I'd never give this to anyone. I want to show everybody a hack. This is my favorite super glue for gluing the eyes on. Someone showed me this hack. I realized I had thrown away a lot of super glue. Just make sure you don't get none of that on your skin. So what happens with this type of dispenser is you wind up getting to where no matter how hard you squeeze this, it's just done, you know, it's empty. At that point, I throw it in the garbage until I realize this. Somebody showed me this hack. So unscrew it from right here. And then put this back on. After you pull the squeezer out, see, it's just and that's as far down as it squeezes. It's about right there. It'll smash it to about right there, and then all of this is left. That's super glue in there. And that's how much I was throwing away every time I threw one of these away, and I must have thrown about 100 of these away already, so I wasted a lot of glue. But now I can go ahead and get the rest of the glue out of the tube. Thought it was a pretty neat hack. Learn something new every day. I hope that helps you guys out. All right, so that's the triple injector, the 4-inch, the 5.5-inch Epic Prey baits, which they also make a 3-inch version of that. I'll show. I can't get that to triple laminate right, but I can use a dual injector on it, and I'll show you that in another video. And that was also the 5.5-inch whip wad, the Epic whip wad, which they also have a bigger version and a smaller version. I don't see myself ever needing a bigger whip wad, but I am gonna probably get the smaller one. I'm positive I'll find something to use that smaller whip wad on. So, and also that was a recipe for Bayou Min'na 2.0. And I think in the beginning of this video, I showed you the recipe for Bayou Min'na and told you how that came to be. Now after making that run, I have some left over. It's not a whole lot. I got some remnants. Maybe what I'm gonna do for my next video is use that leftover Bayou Min'na 2.0 and some 4-inch open pores, see how that comes out. The open pore molds are probably gonna give it a whole entirely different look. It's gonna be completely different than injection. Anyway, I'm not sure if that's gonna be my next video or an upcoming video. I definitely have it on my plate now, so that's something I'll be thinking about. In the meantime, I really want to thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and give me a like and all that good stuff. Also, I really enjoy the comments. I like talking to you guys, see what's on your minds. And all right, so once again, I'm the old tired veteran. And you know what I'm going to say next? Get out there and go fishing. Don't just go fishing, make fishing a lifestyle. Set up your own bait cave somewhere in your house and start making them lures and bait. And there's nothing more fun that I can think of than to land a big one on a lure you made yourself. So until next time, thank you, and you guys be safe out there. I'll talk to you soon.